Let's now see the team chief for Croatia. And now Team Azerbaijan.
Vermiş ama. Bakın herhangi bir uzatışması verir. Bildim bilmedim de onu da buyuruyor. Olsa ben olacak.
Please take hands, please.
Evet, başlayınca zaten.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Azerbaijan. And on my left, Croatia. Croatia captain, the ball, play.
Belə bilsən niyə yaxşılandı? Hamısı düşür, yerləşir.
A very warm welcome if you're joining us or if you've been following the live coverage today here in Azerbaijan, Baku, for the BWF Air Badminton Continental Championships for Europe. On court one in the opening match of this team relay, the tie between Azerbaijan, the hosts, the home nation, versus Croatia. As you can see, it's 3v3. It's the men's triple starting off the team. 4 matches involved in the tie. First team to 60 points. And each match a cumulative maximum of 15 each, so Croatia leading 6-4 in the early stages. There'll be a change of ends at 8 points, and then first team to reach 15 before the next match begins in this tie. Wow, you can just see how much the drift here. Well, it's not drift, we're outdoors, it's wind, let's call it wind, is affecting the conditions. If you're new to watching air badminton, there's plenty to learn. That's a great rally. Really good setup from the Azerbaijani team. So first of all, let's take a look at the serve and the serving position. Those 2 red cones on the outside of the court, the imaginary line marking where the server must stand behind. And the serve a little different to the traditional indoor game, in that you can strike the shuttle on serve at a total height of 1.45 meters, the same height as the net. You can get quite aggressive with a driving forehand, as we just saw. And it's Team Azerbaijan at 8-6, forcing the change of ends in this opening match in the tie. So for Azerbaijan on court, Al Hassanov, Duikayo and Pangetsu. That's the lineup for the team on the near side in that purple with the blue stripe. Their opponents, well, we saw them this morning if you were following the coverage earlier today. Galja, Dilovic and Ilic for Croatia. Croatia losing out to the Netherlands. Earlier this morning. So this is a Group B team relay. The Netherlands taking that win this morning over Croatia, 60-33, topping the group at the moment. Azerbaijan's first match in this group stage. That's lovely. Good backhand up the line. Misses the smash. So crucially in the team relay, this men's triples event, different from the doubles in that a player cannot make a consecutive shot, forcing that rotation. Not the best serve. see the attempt there from one of the Croatian players, having played the shot to move off the court and allow that rotation for his teammates. Good save. Oh, and he's missed the kill. You'll see a lot more diving saves in this form of badminton. And the odd air shot as well, given the wind out here. So what else is important? Well, the area either side of the net marked by those two blue lines you can just see on the camera there. That's the dead zone. Shuttle lands inside that dead zone, it's out, and also if a player moves into the dead zone to play a shot, it's a fault. Well, the umpire's called a let for this one. Not entirely sure the reason. Well, a slower, softer serve, but placed well in between the two opponents in the forecourt. And it's Azerbaijan with the early lead in this team relay tie, leading 15-10. So those scores will retain for the next discipline on court in the tie. Which looks to be the women's triples. So 15-10. First team to reach 30 to end the match. But there will be a change of ends at 23 points. And that gives Croatia a chance to catch up. From 10 points, they'll need 20 to end the match first. Those scores cumulative until the first team reaches the end goal of 60. Bit of support in for this late afternoon session. So 1 minute warm-up almost complete. We're looking at Azara, Nuriyeva and Samadova for Azerbaijan. Just moving on to the far side of the court. And for Croatia in the women's triples for this one, Galja, Kabicek and Zukic make up the team. Three groups of 3 teams here in the Continental European Championships. France leading Group A, with the Netherlands in this group leading that Group B, and it's Germany leading the Group C with Greece and Turkey. Bulgaria and Georgia join France to try and qualify. Top 2 teams through in each group. The highest ranked, the 2 seeded, highest seeded teams will qualify into the semi-finals, and the other 4 teams battling it out over the next 24 hours or so in the quarters for a place to meet them in the semis. Got some fascinating team names for this team relay. France leading Group A at the moment. The men's team, the French Baguettes. The women's team, the French Air Force. Croatia here, the Croatian Air Ratko Eagles. Don't think I've got confirmation of the Azerbaijani team name. We'll try and find that for you. Just another slight delay. Azerbaijan on serve on the far side in that purple kit. 21-13, they lead at the moment. Well, that is the interval here. The first half of this women's triples. Second match in the team relay tie, 23-13. A healthy lead for Azerbaijan. Four-court player there for Croatia. Had to duck because, as I mentioned earlier, you cannot play a consecutive shot. Which then breeds rotation and also breeds strategy for the attacking triple. Once the player has hit a shot, to try and find that player again with the next was a common strategy at the Asian Continental Championships in Port Dickson, Malaysia, just a couple of weeks ago. Team so far, Azerbaijan, the host, delighted with how this is going.
Team managers from France, Bulgaria, Germany, and Greece, please come to the referee table.
Yeah, well left. Croatians women struggling at the moment. Well, into the net. The cross slice would have been a perfect shot to force a consecutive shot. Well, as quick as a flash, that one taking very little time. Azerbaijanis, perhaps dark horses for this group. The Croatian females not quite up to the level that we've seen throughout the day so far. So the gardeners are out with their watering cans. Dampening down that playing service, making things a little bit easier for movements, and also a slightly darker contrast for us. So on the television screens you can pick up that bright yellow air shuttle a little easier. Not only that, this surface can get very hot in the sunshine. Touching 30 degrees out here today, a little bit cooler than it has been over recent days. Coach looking very animated down there for Azerbaijan. Men's doubles is next in the order of play. A 15-point lead at the moment. Can Duikeo and Pangestu for Azerbaijan hold on to that against Galja and Ilic of Croatia? So 1 minute for a quick warm-up. Try and get used to the conditions. That's the main aim here. Not a lot of wind this afternoon, thankfully. It was really strong yesterday in warm-up day here at the Baku Olympic Beach Soccer venue. Oh dear. Just mistiming that kill. Of course, you look up at the sky, but the sun has been directly overhead. It's nearly 4 p.m. here, local time. You can tell from the shadows where the sun is and where the shuttle might need to be to cause those kind of problems. Oh, good pickup. So there's no need to worry about consecutive shots in the doubles. The serve does rotate. Oh, good save. Could have gone over his head, perhaps. A little bit slower to get off the floor here, given the 6-8 inches of thick, soft sand. Good smash. That is some power. And a good use of the middle, especially against the Croatians' forehand and backhand combination. Oh. Net cords, no help to anybody here. Well, there is the change of ends. 38-19 the score. Azerbaijan looking really strong in this tie so far. Well, still committing to that soft serve to middle. Hoping to cause a bit of confusion between his two opponents. Service fault called. The Croatian was stood just in front of that imaginary line between the two red cones on serve. That's a beautiful shot. Good use of the open space in the rear court.
21.
That was another terrific rally.
Takes over 22-32.
Good save, good lift.
Takes over 43-23.
So 43-23 is the score. Well, there it is, 45-23 the score. Match 3 in the tie, complete. A huge lead for Team Azerbaijan.
45-22.
And the Gardeners are back on court. Raking this time. It looks fairly wet still out there, so I think we won't need the watering cans, but it's a massive lead for Azerbaijan as the women's doubles get ready for what will be the final match in the tie. However, Croatia will need to make 37 points to get back in front of Azerbaijan here. Well, Azerbaijan, the coach, the team captain there, rallying his troops. It won't be long before we get the closing match out on court. Plenty of action left here today in Baku. 3 ties in this session. Takes us through to 7 p.m. local time, and then a short break before more action from 8. Probably under the floodlights, which actually makes for a great spectacle in this version of the sport. So the 1 minute warm-up. As Croatia in red start on the near side. There'll still be a change of ends when we get to 53, I think it is. That's a long way for Croatia. But anything can happen in sport. And it does give the opportunity for the Croatians to make those 37 points needed and see it all the way to 60, closing out the tie. It's a big ask. And it's a long way from that incredible spectacle we saw earlier between Greece and Turkey. 58 all it was in a terrific men's doubles. Oi, the line judge changing their mind. That red and yellow checkered flag held by the line judge, hidden behind that umbrella actually on screen in the far right corner. You can just see them holding the flag down low at the moment. We've got two more on the near side underneath the camera here, taking both of the lines from a width perspective, and one more at this end. Great serve, what a serve. Powerful, a flat trajectory, and in between the two Croatians. That's a lovely smash. Carrying a ankle injury there, the Croatian on serve. It's not what you need when you have to move around on sand. Well, in the match, it's the Croatians that have the edge. Of course, the score in the tie is the all-important score. The Azerbaijan pair of Azara and Nuriyeva needing just 9 points. For what will likely be a place in the knockout stages, because Croatia lost earlier on this morning. To the Netherlands, who are current group leaders. .53 points scored, change of ends. Azerbaijan just 7 points away. Well, it was a error in judgment on the back line, that one falling in. Azerbaijan on the near side in purple, now 4 points away from what ought to be place. Completely outfoxed. The air shuttle swirling in the breeze. Unsighted as she looked up to the sky. Oh, that's well played. That is well played. Racing back on court she was. Extravagant leave, 58 now, 2 points away. A little aggressive from the Croatian. Match point, tie point. It's gone long. The falling celebration of Azerbaijan, 60-33. The final score in the tie. (15-10) I make it in that women's doubles. A solid performance from Team Azerbaijan. The hosts, the home nation, securing a win over Croatia in the group stages. They'll have one more tie to play against the Netherlands this evening, but that win should secure them at least second place in the group and a likely quarter-final to follow over the next day or so. Well, at 5 o'clock, which is 20 minutes time, it's France versus Bulgaria here on court 1. More team relay action in the group stages. That will be followed by into the Netherlands, the final match in this group we've just watched. They're up against Azerbaijan to decide who goes through in top spot. And later on this evening, 8 o'clock, we'll have the first of our quarterfinals. Plenty to come. Stay with us.
Ama 140 nəfər var. Onda gözlə, çıx. geçse şimdi. Tabii. Bundan sonra. Falan vermiş sana sarına.
Şuraya geçsin. Gelirim arkaya, üçlü üstlük gözler.
Biraz mikrop olsaydı, nayiz olsaydı geçen kavlaşacağız. Yola nayizi kurup buradan vermeye olsaydı. Çok sağ ol kardeşim, değer verdin. Faydası yok.
Maraton. BWF izler. Maraton. Aslında
Bak, onu başkadan duydu. Sık sık sık.
Marché.
First up on court 2, please welcome Greece.
Hazırım.
And their opponents are Germany. And on court 2, please welcome Bulgaria.
Geleceğim.
And their opponents are France. Let's now see the team cheer for Greece.
Budur. Bak, ben veremem. Ben veremem.
Ben de
And
ördü
now
verdi.
Germany.
So welcome back to the live action here at the BWF Air Badminton Continental Championships in Europe. We're in Baku, Azerbaijan. Live coverage there on court 2 right now as Germany versus Greece
Set kandı
get ready to get going in their team relay tie.
Next up,
Check.
team cheer for Bulgaria.
That will be the final tie in the group stages for those two nations, as will this one here. Team cheer for Bulgaria, who in a few moments' time will face off with Team France, current group leaders.
Team shakes hand, please.
So the team cheers complete, the high fives underway. Team relay format, first to 60 points to get through. This is a Group A match in which France beat Georgia earlier on today, 60-23. A comfortable win in the end for the French. Bulgaria's first match up against France in a few moments. They'll play Georgia later. to decide who goes through, likely with France.
Kadro kimdedir?
Bulgarian team this week made up of 3 men and 3 women. Hristo Penchev, Alexander Peshev, Miroslav Petrov, and the women's lineup of Mikhaila Sholakova, Silvana Zhenkova, Pandarova, and Dmitria Popstoikova. France coming out with a full squad of 4 men and 4 women. Louis Ducrot, Gregor Dunikowski, Niklas Horo, and Thomas Valle. And 2 of these 4 female players knocking up right now: Sharon Bauer, Lorraine Baumann, Charlotte Gansi, and Lilu Schaffner.
Abi konu bu, imkan budur. Geze bir verebilirim. Ay şeylerleri.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, France, and on my left, Bulgaria. Bulgaria to serve. Rubber leg. Don't run.
So the coin toss here in this format of badminton, air badminton, taking place 45 minutes before the match is due to get underway, or the tie in this instance. And that coin toss not only to decide serve and choice of ends, but also the format of the 4 different disciplines that feature in this team relay tie. This particular one, as you can see, starting with the women's doubles. There will also be a men's doubles, a men's triples and a women's triples. Each match 15 points cumulative scoring. You can go 15 love down, and in the next match score 30 in the same match to overtake your opponents, so there's always a chance to catch up. You can already see the traditional badminton movement of the French pair in particular. You can tell that they've played a good level in the indoor game. Yeah, really nicely played by the Bulgarian. That's Silvana Jenkova Pandarova on the right side. Her partner, Dmitria Popstoikova. And a terrific start for the Bulgarians. A worrying start, in fact. This being Team France's last group stage tie. They'll be keen to win the group. In terms of the team relay, it is actually France who are ranked #1. And so if they top this group, they will get an automatic bye through to the semi-finals, but they'll want to beat Bulgaria here today to ensure they do that. A loss would really open up the group, and our last remaining tie between Bulgaria and Croatia could actually see the Bulgarians top the group. So she's standing quite far back on serve, as you can see. Two red cones either side off the court, marking out the imaginary service line. Good attacking formation. Seems the Bulgarians have really prepared well for this. What a save, and off the net. The French seemingly unable to do much right at the moment.
Sen gedirəm, dö.
12-2.
Well, this is about as high a level as we've seen at the tournament today. It's on the line. Oh, she's called it out, the line judge, off camera, but down to my right. Has signalled that wide. Good use of the middle. That was close. 2 points away, the Bulgarians, from a huge lead and quite an upset. A miss hit, but that was going in. That's definitely wide. Match point. And so the serve rotates between the two players. Again, something organised during the coin toss earlier on. Good rotation. French working really hard, just doing enough. Really poor serve, dispatched with ease, and it's 15-6 to the Bulgarians. A terrific upset. France, the top seeds here after performing best at the ANOC World Beach Games European qualifiers back in 2023. Netherlands second in the team rankings, Germany in third, and it's Bulgaria in fourth place. And on that performance, you'd have to argue the female team, at the very least, are looking really strong. Well, there's two on court. I thought it was a triples coming up next. It is, in fact. For France, Louis Ducrot, Nicolas Horeau, and Thomas Valet. Saw them knocking up yesterday in the warm-up day, and they were looking pretty good out there. Tough conditions yesterday. It was so windy down here in Baku. It's a lot less windy here today, making playing conditions a lot easier. But it all can change throughout the day and certainly throughout the weekend. For Bulgaria, their entire male team. A minimum of 3 players needed, and all 3 on court for this men's triples. Hristo Penchev, Alexander Peshev, and Miroslav Petrov. And this is going to be a big test for the French. Well, I was just having a look at the Bulgarians then. A real team spirit between them. They are really up for this, and why not after that terrific start from the women's triples. A 15-6 lead, first to 60. So in this match, it's the first team to reach 30 points before the next match. It means France can come back. They'll need 24 points, with Bulgaria getting less than 15. Now this is the sort of standard we've all come to hope to watch. Look at the rotation between them as well. No consecutive shots allowed. So not only is it difficult when the shuttle is played back towards you, you have to do some kind of evasive maneuver. Heavily reliant on rotation, but it also brings about the strategy for the opposing team, whether they can find the same player after that player has played the last shot. In Port Dickson, a couple of weeks ago in Malaysia, the Asian Continental Championships, confusion between the Bulgarians. It was something that some of the top teams had really developed in that strategy. Take a look at that serve, so aggressive. The French team could not capitalize. But that forehand serve from deep behind the cones. You can see the red cones in the background there. There's one on each side of the court, the imaginary line from which you have to stand behind to serve. But you can serve a lot higher than the indoor game. And so an aggressive forehand driving serve is common in this air badminton event. Well, that looked to have been going long of the French back line. They've decided to keep it alive. Three in this match so far, 18-11, the overall tie result at the moment. Gets away with that serve. I think it's a fault being called. The server's foot judged to be over the line between the red cones. The service fault. Did well, the Bulgarian Petrov, to get out of the way for Penchev. Look at the French lining up. Good return. Well, we're less than halfway in this tie, but you can just feel and see the intensity, the importance of a result here for Team France. Need to close this gap. Short, sharp rallies. Forehand driving serve, almost tossed up there, like feeding the shuttle in a training session. Oh, the return. That's lovely. Saw the big space in the forecourt. So 23-17 the score. Bulgaria still holding on to that lead and taking us to the change of ends. there's the power of the wind. And whilst it is pretty quiet in terms of breeze out here right now, it doesn't take much to grab hold of that air shuttle.
Başlasına gol ha.
That's a poor block. Disappointing. Great rotation. Well, the space was there to be found, and Team France had closed the gap to within 2 points. Right hand, deep in court. The three Team France men heavily loading that left side of the court. Same again here, all three are on the left side. Good rotation. Bulgarians really understand their roles here in terms of not playing a consecutive shot. Disappointing for the French, losing with the serve. So much advantage with that forehand high driving serve from deep in court. Cannot afford to make the error in the net. So first team to 30, of course, in this men's triples match. Before we move on to the third discipline in the team relay, cumulative scoring. And Team France have really pulled it back after that impressive Bulgarian women's doubles opener. Oh, looks up to the sky. And mistimes the shuttle. France now 1 point behind. Well, in the grey hat in the middle there, had the chance. He knew his teammate couldn't play the shot. Good rotation from the French also. Plenty of movement out here. The score's so tight now, it's almost anyone's game. Match point for France. But only for this men's triples. First team to 60. Takes the tie in the team relay. It's France that have found a way through, clawing things back after that brilliant start from Jenkova and Popstoikova of Bulgaria in the women's doubles to begin with. A 15-6 lead the Bulgarians had. 24-12 in that match as France regains slight control. It ought to be the women's triples coming up in a few moments. We might see the gardeners come on to either rake the ground or add more water, or perhaps conditions good enough to continue. The French trio of Sharon Bauer, Charlotte Ganchi and Lilu Schaffner, very quick to get on court to have a hit for this 1 minute warm-up. 30-27. Women's triples coming up, and the first teams of 45 before the final match in the tie, the men's doubles, to close things out with one team getting to 60. France, the group leaders at the moment after that impressive win over the Croatians this morning. A win here against Bulgaria will assure them as group leaders and top seeds here, Team France. An automatic place then if they win this group for France into the semi-finals, with 4 teams playing off for a quarter-final spot later on. So here we go with this third match in the tie. Women's triples, France, Bulgaria, for a likely group leader and placed in the knockouts. So Jenkova on serve for Bulgaria. As you can see, standing behind that red cone, the imaginary service line, across the width of the court. Both feet behind the line to serve, so you serve very deep in court, but you can serve quite high. You can serve, you can hit the shuttle at the same height as the top of the net, which is 1.45 meters, allowing for a lot more aggression on serve. There's a dead zone in this sport for anybody that's just tuned in, between the net and what would normally be the service line, those blue stripes across the court. That area of the court is never involved, so you can't stand in there, you can't hit the shuttle from in there. You can fall in there if it's a natural movement after playing a shot inside the normal area. And possibly the most interesting thing about the triples is you cannot play a consecutive shot So a lot of rotation called for. And big strategy to try and target the player who's just played a shot. You can see there the French team rotating well, but the taller of the French players making that error. This is going to be fascinating, as the Bulgarians were so strong in the women's doubles at the beginning of this tie. If they can get their noses in front here, the last match in the tie, the men's doubles to finish, will really be a fascinating encounter. So, big challenges out here in this outdoor version of badminton. The wind being the biggest problem. I saw that heavily involved in the Asian qualifiers for the World Beach Games in Malaysia a couple of years ago. We had storms that weekend. And a fair bit of research and development has gone into this sport, mostly with the shuttlecock, the air shuttle. It's a lot heavier than a traditional badminton shuttlecock. It's heavy-duty plastic. The cork itself is like a rubber plastic composite. It's hard. And typical racket string tensions just won't get the job done. You'll break strings very easily. So the strings in these rackets are a lot looser, probably by half, somewhere around 8 kilos, which is between 16 and 18 pounds per square inch. That's the sort of typical racket tension of your strings. That being said, these shuttles last forever. The Asian Continental Championships took place a couple of weeks ago in Port Dickson, Malaysia, and they got through 26 shuttles for the entire tournament. On the Sunday evening, it was the men's and then the women's triples finals, and the entire 2 matches used the same shuttle. That's how durable they are. She's struggling with that forehand. France doing enough to cling on here. Change of ends at 38. First team to 38 for the change of ends. And the match ends with the first team at 45. Another mistake from Le Ponytail. Well, there is 38. France trailing by 2, the change of ends. And really, it's all about how competitive the scoreline will look into the final match in the tie, which will be the men's doubles. Format of the tie decided 45 minutes before the match with the coin toss. So not just the serve and return and choice of ends, but also the team winning the toss gets to choose which discipline the match, or rather the tie, will start with. Losing team of the coin toss then gets to choose the second match in the tie, and so on. Good rotation, but it's not enough. She had too much work to do. Getting a perfect length here, so difficult. And I can't begin to tell you how difficult it is on the beach. I was lucky enough to have a hit before, and Not just movement making you look so much slower than normal, but judging it with the breeze makes the timing so difficult. Look at that, round the head clear, and it's just sailed out wide. Backhand serve going short. It's a good block. she tried her best to get out of the way. It was going wide as well. And that's what I mentioned earlier. Targeting the player who had just played the shot previous in triples is proven to be a very good strategy. Good serve. That was going wide. Better rotation from the French, and that's gone long. The umpire's umbrella is just blocking the view of the line judge in the back corner, who is carrying a red and yellow checkered flag. Save and good rotation once more. Well, something of a disaster. And just look at the state of the court. Potholes and molehills to trip over as you try and move. Lovely, finding the open space as the French player was unable to hit that shot as she had hit the previous. Tension, pressure, 4 points, the difference. Well, a 5-point lead and a match point for Team Bulgaria. One more match in the tie. First to 60. Can the French scrape a couple of points? Close this gap and give their men's doubles pair the best chance. That's gone wide and long. Bulgaria 45-40. A solid performance and carrying on where the women's doubles left off. And a bit of work to do now for the men's doubles. French team trailing by 5. And the Gardeners are back. This time they will rake the court because it is a complete mess. And throughout the day today, particularly around the middle of the day when it was baking hot, the watering cans were brought out to not just dampen down the sand and making it a bit more compact and easier to move on, but also this sand can get so hot here in Baku. So 45-40, one more match. Matches lasting typically between 6 and 12 minutes just. Faces looking a little bit more concerned. On the French, a contrast to the Bulgarians, who are delighted with this lead. So you can play in multiple disciplines. In fact, if there is a men's triples followed by a men's doubles, you can in fact keep two of the same players on court for the next match. Peshev and Penchev, the picks for Bulgaria. Badminton geeks among us will be aware of a few players within this tournament that we all recognise from the World Tour. Germany trailing Greece on court 2 at the moment. Women's triples have just left the court, and Linda Effler, who people may know, top 10, top 15 player in the world with Marvin Seidel of Germany a few years back. She features for the German team, as does Thomas Fuchs. So a couple of names of players that have been on the professional World Tour. So moments away from this final match. So the men's doubles underway. Got a couple of minutes before it gets really tight and tense. Just to try and explain what it's all about, really. Why air badminton? What's the point? And certainly one of the driving factors is that badminton being played in Asia and Europe as the two main continents, the sport itself lacks that worldwide participation. And one of the biggest challenges for Pan America, South America in particular, and certainly in Africa, is the cost of the sport. Getting hold of equipment, and decent quality equipment, especially shuttles. Competition and training environments in those types of countries are a lot more difficult and expensive. So the Badminton World Federation have been looking for a few years to develop an outdoor version of the game. And whilst this is still in the development stage, it's a big push to try and create some kind of more elite level of this to give the world something to look at. You can get hold of the outdoor nets and shuttles. What a terrific smash, falling backwards. Surely. Still going, terrific defense from Peshev and Penchev. Well, without doubt, one of the best rallies we've seen today. It's got to be the longest. And a big high five. Look at the Bulgarian team holding on to this lead, 47-43. First to 60, this is the last match in the tie. Yes, so an outdoor version of the sport to try and encourage nations around the world that you wouldn't typically see playing badminton. That is a terrific serve. Getting involved. And that's been a big development point over the last 2 years. The level that these nations are playing at has massively improved, and whilst it doesn't look as free-flowing as the indoor game. It is so difficult. The top performers here this week, or this weekend in Europe, will qualify for the World Cup, which will take place in the Middle East in December, just 1 week before Badminton's World Tour finals. And there's also a World Beach Games, which sounds like the best tournament in the world to me. A couple of weeks on the beach in, well, it was Bali last time out. That was the host nation. Beach soccer, surfing. A multi-sport beach games, including all sorts of biathlon, triathlon, beach volleyball, of course. I wonder if one day they'll include who can dig the biggest hole. That's what we used to compete as kids. Two points in front. And again, perfect length from Peshev. Well, this could be a really big upset. France currently leading the group. Bulgaria, this is their first tie in the group. They've got Georgia to play later on. France beat Georgia 60-23 this morning. So there's a good chance of a Bulgarian win over Georgia later, which means if they can keep ahead of France here, they might go through as group leaders. Three groups of 3 nations. Top 2 go through, with the 2 highest ranked teams by nation. If they win their groups, will get an automatic semi-final space, and the other 4 fighting it out in the quarters. So we'll most likely see Bulgaria and France progressing into the knockouts, assuming Georgia don't provide us with the biggest upset this week. Bulgarians talking tactics. In the doubles events, you don't need to worry about the consecutive shots. That's only for the triples. Superb rally. Really well played. So 53 points scored. And the change of ends.
Ben gedirəm üstlerine kalsın.
French coach was looking very concentrated indeed. Bulgaria, in fact, one of the strongest nations out here. France, Germany and the Netherlands are the top 3 seeds, with Bulgaria in 4th. And quite fascinating is that while some nations have got the odd retired former national player of the indoor game, like I mentioned the Germans earlier, the Dutch team are in fact only air badminton players. That's all they do. I mean, I'm sure they've got day jobs at home. This is not a professional sport yet, but They've been training for a couple of years just on the sand. There are also plenty of players out here, including the French and the Germans, where they're good badminton players indoors, and they've been invited to come and give this a go. So the likes of Linda Effler I mentioned earlier, she's never actually played air badminton before. Yesterday in the warm-up was her first go. Big attack from the Bulgarians. Good drive, backhand drive into the face of Penchev. No mistakes now. France 5 points behind, with Bulgaria needing just 5 to take this tie. Well, it's certainly one of the most competitive matches as we've seen today. Scheduled for 6 minutes time, the next tie due to begin, Netherlands versus Azerbaijan, their final group match, which will be the last tie in the session before the first of our quarterfinals from 8 p.m. this evening. That's local time. That's just over 2 hours away. Oh, well, I don't think he meant to leave that. Well, it was off camera, but the biggest sigh of relief, I think, from the Frenchman as that drifts wide. 3 points in it. Oh, that's lovely. Punch clear, but also the placement in between the two Frenchmen and the slight side wind causing problems for the French duo. Bulgaria now 3 points away. Well, that's two terrific plays. Valet and Dunikowski down there for France. And again, keeping it in court. What a moment to shine. Closing the gap, and will the Bulgarians begin to crumble under this pressure? No is the answer. 58-56. We had a tight one earlier with Greece and Turkey finishing 60-58. He's mistimed it, it's gone under the net. That gap ever closing. It's going wide, it's drifted back in the wind. Whilst you can understand the mistake in this sport, you can't afford to take the risk. you know which general direction the wind's going in. And that must have travelled about a foot left to right. Well, match points. And the first one saved. France on serve. Oh, there it is. The Bulgarians have done it. 60-58 the finish. Look at the celebrations. Big favourites now to top the group, and getting a better draw. They might even steal the France seeded position. I'm not sure of the technicalities, but they're certainly into the knockouts with that win. Solid performance from the French. You can't really fault them for their play. They were just undone, particularly in the women's doubles and women's triples. The Bulgarians showing their class. She was pretty good today. And credit to Penchev and Peshev for getting the job done at the crucial time as well. Oh, the Gardeners are back. They'll rake that court. Flatten it down, maybe add some water. Try and compact it as best possible. Ready for the next tie. So France with 1 win and 1 loss in the group should be enough to see them through in second place. Bulgaria now favourites to top the group. Well, it won't be long. Stay with us here for the Netherlands versus Azerbaijan. That's a Group B matchup. Netherlands beat Croatia this morning, 60-33. Team Azerbaijan will be really hopeful as the host nation to make it through to this knockout stages. Don't go away, we'll be back in a few moments.
Please welcome the technical officials for the match. On court one, please welcome the Netherlands.
Hazırlan. Gör Yağmur.
And their opponents are Azerbaijan. Let's now see the team cheer for the Netherlands. And now Azerbaijan.
Well, thank you for being a part of this with us here in Baku, Azerbaijan for the BWF Air Badminton Continental Championships. We're getting into the later stages here on day one of action. Group stages in the team relay, and it's been a fantastic day. I hope you're enjoying it as much as we are. We've had some tight ones. Turkey and Greece earlier was a thriller, and we've just witnessed, well, our first major upset of the tournament so far. Bulgaria pipping France to the post, 60-58 in the team relay here live on court one a few moments ago. Bulgaria taking top spot in the group. That is, of course, if Bulgaria's matches are all finished. I think they might have one left against Croatia, or perhaps that's done and dusted. I'll double check that for viewers, but it is likely now, and I'll wait for confirmation, that France will finish second in that group. They will progress through, but they will have a quarter-final to play. The highest ranked team here were France, with the Netherlands closely behind them in second place, Germany in third. So that's the team rankings going into this tournament. Those rankings were qualified for 2 years ago in the ANOC World Beach Game European qualification process. And Bulgaria in fourth, providing us the upset. So we've got the Netherlands versus Azerbaijan next on court one. A 1 minute warm up now that the gardeners have finished their duties of dampening down the court and raking it to give the best possible playing surface for these players. You can imagine the difficulty that the conditions provide. Netherlands team looking on eagerly. I mentioned it earlier, but one of the interesting things here, as we do have a few former national badminton players from the World Tour now turning their hand to air badminton. The Dutch team, in fact, none of them are traditional badminton players. They are all specialising in air badminton. They've been training for a couple of years now, getting used to conditions on the sand. And around 45 minutes ago or so, the coin toss, traditionally to decide the choice of ends, serve and receive, but also in this case, the serve rotation. And importantly for the team managers, the format of this tie a team relay format, first to 60 points, 4 matches across 4 disciplines. We've got men's and women's doubles, men's and women's triples. And the winner of the coin toss will have elected this women's doubles to start proceedings here in this team relay. First team to 8 will see the change of ends. First team to 15 for the match. And those scores accumulated will carry on into matches 2, 3 and 4 to complete the tie, first to 60. Vicious attack from the Dutch, that popped up nicely. Well, the impact of the wind, you can see there, pushing that air shuttle out wide. Perfect length. The Netherlands beating Croatia in the team relay, 60-33 earlier today. Azerbaijan also coming through against Croatia, 60-33. So Croatia without a win in the group. This match to decide who's going to go through as group leaders. And it's of huge importance for the Netherlands, who, as the second highest ranked team, second seed here, if they win their group, they will get an automatic place in the semi-finals. France would have done the same thing, but they lost out moments ago to Bulgaria. They'll finish second in the group, and so they'll have to play a quarter-final. And if Germany win their group as the third seeds, they'll go through with that second spot, if you like, the bye through to the semis. Well, it's 8-9-5 after that change of ends. Aggressive serve, but the return full of quality. The Dutch flag, the war paint on the face. It's Corine Broekers and Amber Durskin down there for Holland. Azerbaijan players of Keisha Fatima Azara and Hajar Nurieva. desperate in defence. 11-8, first to 15 to end this match and take us on to match number 2 in the tie, which I believe will be the men's doubles, but we'll get that confirmation for you in a few moments' time. Yes, well played. Good use of the drop shot and the middle. Well, fairly basic serve, causing problems for Azara. The left-hander was in good position. Well, the shot was there for the taking. Slightly different flight path on this air shuttle. Good defense. Yeah, really well played. German team just walking behind me with ice creams. I like the level of professionalism. It's gone wide. Hard to see that line judge with the flag in the background, but the flag was raised. It's out the back. Azerbaijan just 1 point away from this women's doubles match. Oh, from the floor. Both players on the floor, and it's gone wide. Great save. 15-12. Azara and Nurieva of Azerbaijan getting their team relay team off to a good start. Might see a little bit of court attendance, or perhaps they'll leave that for the next break. Men's doubles coming up in a few moments. Steven Otto and Pim van Vegel down there for the Netherlands, called upon for this men's doubles. Adireski Duquayo and Diki Dwi Pangestu, their opponents for Azerbaijan. All eyes on this one to decide the group. And let's see if Azerbaijan can follow in Bulgaria's footsteps and displace one of the top seeds early on. So men's doubles underway. What a positive fashion they're approaching this tie in Team Azerbaijan. Be terrific for the host nation to see their team progress in the team relay. Oy. Good speed of movement given the court surface. Is that in? Yes. Well, it landed pretty much on the blue line. It's not a service line as we traditionally know. That's landed in as well. It's merely the front of the playing area, the dead zone in between those two blue markers, which on the main camera angle, there we are, you can see the area around the net, 2 meters from the net on either side as the dead zone. Shuttle lands in there, it's out, and if you move in that area to play a shot, it's a fault. Netherlands looking in a little bit of trouble here, up against a very positive looking Azerbaijani team. Good rotation, it's just too much to ask. The sideways movement on sand, so difficult. Clever play from the Dutch players. Well, the fault's called for Holland in the orange headband. His foot was over the imaginary line between the two red cones on serve. Change ends at 23 in this one. That's landed in. Good backhand drive. First team to 30 for the match. Opening up a 5-point lead. It's a good clear. Good racket skills on display from the Azerbaijanis in particular. Surprising for me. See them looking so strong here. Good pickup. Well, the intent was there. But the Azerbaijan pair looking a lot more mobile on the sand. And with impressive shot making, they're looking strong here. Change of ends, 23-18. A few fans there getting into the vibe. Back to the action. An ace. What a start. And another. Dutch pair for me, I think, need to step over slightly to the right to return that serve, narrow that angle. That forehand drive serve, which has to be from deep in court, is proving quite a weapon. Just 3 points away. That's a nice return. Pressure. Serving at 20-28. Just finding this performance from the Azerbaijanis too much. A bit ambitious. Well, it didn't take all that long. Team Azerbaijan with a 9-point lead in the tie. That match finishing with a cumulative score of 30-21. 2 more matches yet to play. And the Gardeners are back with the rakes. Just dampening down that playing surface, making things a lot easier for the players to move.
Dördü hazırla. Ver.
Looks like hard work, actually. Temperatures here getting a lot cooler into the early evening, 6:30 local time. Big smiles on the Azerbaijani faces, as there should be, performing well here in this tournament so far. Women's triples. For the Netherlands, Corinne Bruskes, Amber Dersken and Sasha van der Veerhof. And for Azerbaijan, Azara's back on court. And she's joined by Haja Nurieva and Nigar Samadova, making this women's triples outfit. This Dutch team, as I mentioned a little while ago, playing almost exclusively air badminton. No former national team or World Tour players for the Netherlands. Oh, look at how that serve moved left to right. Good length. Oh. Didn't quite have the height to get over the Dutch player. Big court open on the left side there. And with the triples, as we saw earlier, no consecutive shots allowed. Have to rotate. And for the attacking team, trying to pin it back on the player that's just played the last shot. A good strategy. Well, it's very difficult to time with that bit of breeze and trying to get a balance. Yeah, great shot up the line, the wind keeping it in court. .54 in real score for this triple so far. Team score 34-27 in favour of Azerbaijan right now. Oof, very difficult to time. That was a lovely shot, and part of that reason, not just the quality of the shot itself, but forcing the shuttle back onto the player who'd hit the previous shot. There's a lot to be aware of during the rally. Good rotation. Look at the Azerbaijani running off to make way for her partners. Yeah, animated, the reaction. They're still trying to work things out there. High serve. Oh. Well, having enough time on the shuttle and judging the flight path of the shuttle well enough to then use deception is a skill that I think is perhaps reserved for the very few. One of the players has knocked over the serving guide cone. Just long the serve. Gap now 6 points, first to 45. To end this match, take us to the last. That's a nice shot. Little bit of reverse slice on that. Frustration showing on the Azerbaijani teammates' faces off camera. Trying a bit too much with the shuttle. Off the net cord. Well, down the middle. Proving effective, and it's half time in this match. 38-33. Azerbaijan still in charge.
Kırıktı orada. Yok yok, şunur da artırdı, ona göre arada kaçır.
Well, clever play again. Great racket skills from the Dutch. The player in the middle of that trio right now. Can't quite grasp her name from here, but the shuttle was played back to her. And a late reaction from teammates. Line judge, if you like, or umpire's assistant down there in the red cap, keeping a close eye on where the server is stood. There's a few mistimed shots going on in this triples. That's clever, good shot. And well left. She's been effective so far, the Dutch player on the right side. Good racket skills and good clever shot making. That's just gone wide. The court was there, the shot was the right shot. You have to make allowances for the wind. Yeah, good rotation, good coverage. The Dutch targeting Nurieva, I think it was. But Azara kept her wits. Oh, that is good. Wow. 2 drop shots. One left and one right. So wide. Shot quality all important. The drift now moving right to left. It's swirling around this arena. Zara and teammates struggling to judge the breeze as the Netherlands get back to within 3 points. Oh, good pickup. Match point. Azerbaijan. Oh, diving save. And another. Oh no. After all that hard work, they can't yet close it out. Good play from the Netherlands. Good rotation. But the wind changing again, right to left this time, and it's gone wide. Azerbaijan still ahead. 45-41. One more match to go in the tie. The score's tight enough. To give hope to either team here.
Çık. Terasma. Evet. Gel gel. Ele. Ya. Bura.
Well, Azerbaijan bringing the fight. Well, they desperately want their team to win. There's quite a lot riding on this. Oh, what a trick shot. Somehow hit it backwards. If the Netherlands win this match, they'll win the group. And if they win the group as one of the top teams in the rankings, they will automatically qualify for a semi-final berth. if you win the group,
Sönmeyeyim, sönmeyeyim.
or come second in the group, you're going through. And right now, the German team, who are ranked 3 in the world, will actually get a semi-final berth automatically because the French team lost out to Bulgaria, finished second in their group, and so they lose that automatic semi-final spot. Bulgaria will win the group, but they are the 4th team in the rankings. Germany, as I've already said, through and into the semis. Only the Dutch can prevent Bulgaria from getting a straight semi-final spot. All the rest play off in the quarters. There'll be 6 teams through to the knockouts. 4 will play off in a quarter-final battle, and 2 straight to the semis. It's aggressive from Azerbaijan. Well, an Azerbaijan win here really will mix things up for the organisers as to who goes through to the semi-finals with Germany. I think if Azerbaijan win this, they send Bulgaria through with Germany to the semis. It's a brilliant outcome for the Bulgarians. There's a lot left in this one yet, though. First to 60. Azerbaijan 7 points away. And the Netherlands need a massive 15 points. Oh, that's a bad lead. Avoiding the consecutive shot penalty. Desperate dive. Couldn't recover with a backhand. Opting for the high serve. Azerbaijan trio just seem to have lost their intensity slightly the last couple of rallies. The arena starting to get a lot darker and a lot cooler. The wind picking up. Really do need a late technique to combat this wind. It's never been more important to keep your eye on the shuttle all the way through its path. Pangestu on serve. Confusion and a fault. Consecutive shot for Dwi Kayo. Yeah, he just signals to the Dutch that he hit 2 shots in a row. And again, that consecutive shot issue causing a problem this time for the Azerbaijanis. It's a clever shot. Look at the rotation of the Dutch team. It's gone long. 4 points needed. Trying to build that intensity up from the sidelines. Can't find the smash. That one's gone wide as well. 3 points away now. It's landed in. Terrific diving defense and lifts it to the back line. Two points to win the group. Good rally. Oh, a bad leave in the end. Dwi Kayo. Confusion. Found a way out of it. And now for the Dutch team. Round the back is not good enough. And the home crowd getting excited. It's only right that we have air horns to go with the air badminton. Match point and for the tie. Not only that, to top the group. Azerbaijan with another massive upset. A terrific performance. They were just too good for the Dutch today. The pride of Baku taking out one of the top seeds for the event in the group stages. Both teams should progress, but it's Azerbaijan that goes through top of the pile. And a big score too, 60-50 over the Netherlands. Well, they've got a bit of work to do on and possibly off the court. It's celebration time for this lot. Well, let's hope they don't take the celebrations too seriously tonight. They've got more air badminton to play yet. Well, according to the information I have to hand, there will be quarterfinals in action this evening. The next match in just over an hour's time, 8 p.m. local time. So if you're enjoying this, please make sure you come back and join us again in about 60 minutes. For now, we're going to take a short break.